end zone caught. It's good. D. Anderson and the Showboats have won it in overtime. Going to hand this off up the middle for Marable. He's going to fumble. Ball's loose. And St. Louis picks it up. That will do it. The Battlehawks defense makes a play late. Game on the line. Looking to throw. Has time. End zone. Incomplete. It's incomplete. The Stallions hang on to win. For overtime. DeLeo to throw. Pass. Caught by Roland. Needs some help. Not gonna get it. He stopped a yard short. Houston will pull off the upset. Looking to throw. Has time. Deep. Right side overthrown. Picked off. It's intercepted by Keenan Isaac. He's gonna need it right there. They hand this off right side for Roland. They convert the 10-5. Chris Roland. I should shut up. Chris Roland touchdown. That's the dagger. Knicks toss left side and there's room. Has past the 30, past the 40, past the 20, 15, 10, 5. RJ Harvey. There we go. One play. Just need one play out of you. Gonna play action and look to throw. Mariota, sometime. Pass, intercepted. It's picked off. Yes, yes. One play was all they needed. Jack Jones. Williams, play action. Rolling left, looking to throw. Has time. Pass, end zone, intercepted. It's Keyshawn Nixon calling game. Darnold to throw. Has time. Pass, wide open. Over the middle. The Seattle Seahawks do it. Play action looking to throw. Williams has some time. Pass deep. Over the middle. Has a man. It's DJ Moore. Touchdown Chicago. They win in overtime. Snap good. Hold good. Kick up. And he missed it. Wide right. The Steelers will host Houston on Monday night. Williams in shotgun. Back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. 4th and 4. Trip to Seattle on the line. Man in motion. Williams looking to throw. Pressure coming. Rolling left. Trying to buy some time. Back near the 40. Pass left side. Williams is caught. Touchdown Chicago. Cole Kmet. Somehow the magic remains. What? May looking to throw in 3rd and 6. Rolling left. Gonna take it himself. And that will do it. A first down carry. It's a gain of 7. And the Patriots have booked their ticket to Santa Clara. Zeros on the clock. The Seattle Seahawks, for the first time since 2014, are your NFC champion. Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 2 of the UFL. The Defenders looking to bounce back after a bad loss last week to the Battlehawks, taking on the Columbus Aviators. It's going to be the first game at home for Columbus in team history. I'm actually really excited to see what this atmosphere looks like. From reports from like earlier today to late yesterday has like only 1,000 tickets remaining for this home opener. So I'm expecting to be pretty filled. We shall see. I also saw that they opened more sections at Historic Crew today for this game. So should be a good atmosphere. A lot of expectations after Louisville's atmosphere last week. But welcome on in. Week 2 gonna begin here momentarily. Yeah, I've never been great at description writing. I try my best with it, but it is what it is. I need it. That's something I want to work on throughout the years. It's gonna take time with it, especially when like I scheduled this stream an hour and a half ago, so I rushed scheduling it, and making the description to get food before this. But yeah, welcome on in. Kickoff moments away. Yeah, Columbus better be packed out for this game, even with them losing last week. I mean, it should be filled up pretty nicely. Also they have the proper field paint in Columbus for this, including the end zone painted. Hell yeah. But we'll see. I'm also excited to see those home uniforms for Columbus. They did look pretty nice during the media stuff. On the field, it's going to be a different test. Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I'm expecting it to be a solid game. I don't know about either of these teams. Ideally, after today, we'll know more about the identity of these teams. But we shall see. I'm hoping DC bounces back because when their offense is humming, it is beautiful to watch. Good evening. Welcome on in. There's that Columbus skyline. It is really cool to see some of these like lesser, not lesser skylines. Some of these other skylines getting showcased for games. Yeah, it's going good. Yeah, and a fine week of classes and all that. We're getting closer and closer to the end of the semester, so I'm kind of just getting by. All right, they did fill up the stadium pretty well. Columbus fans showed out a bit. That's nice. The potential for Columbus in this league is massive. So I'm really hoping that there's growth throughout the season, but they're going to need success on the field for it to happen. Yeah. I expect it to be an interesting game. Fun? It depends how much you like defensive football. Because I expect DC's defense to really show out, especially after what happened at the tail end of last week with the whole with the theatrics between players and even Blake Williams, the defensive coordinator, having to get involved with it. Pretty ugly end of last week for DC. I do expect them though to rally behind it for this week. Nice. Yeah. I'm not necessarily checked out. It's more so just I don't know. It's more so just the UFL season's here, and that's gonna get some of my my focus for the next little while, until we get to the point where I actually need to start studying again. Because I don't have between now and finals, I don't have any other tests, so I'm chilling on that end. No, Columbus was the team that fumbled the opening kickoff last week, so this should be interesting. Yeah. Which again, that was just another one of many mistakes Columbus made last week in terms of shooting themselves in the foot. It was the fumble in the opening kickoff, the two pick sixes that were called back to the penalties, a third pick six that was dropped late in the game. They also they wasted so much time late, just all around, just they shot themselves in the foot, calling timeouts when they probably shouldn't have as well. Like it was a mess for them last week. I do expect some better things this week. I expect to be more prepared. But I don't know. So it's just DC has more of my benefit of the doubt in terms of just all around success, because defending champs and all that. But we will see. One more commercial break before we get to the game. Yeah, nowhere to go but up. And hopefully they do, because them and Louisville I want to see succeed, because the atmospheres that they will bring is fantastic. Yeah. We'll see Sunday, another team that really feels like it has nowhere to go but up in Houston. They play Sunday against a really good Birmingham team. And we'll see if there truly is nowhere to go but up with that one. But Columbus is a team that, again, I feel definitely has the pieces, even though again most of these pieces were Michigan Panthers from last year that were in the they're in the championship game. So in a way, this is a bit of a championship rematch, technically, if you really stretch the idea of it. Yeah, we'll see. Tomorrow's game, Louisville and Orlando, should be an interesting one. I'm hoping Orlando shows out for that, but I don't have a lot of faith in this city. I don't. Because I know that the UFL was like said they're gonna be doing a lot more pushing for Bernie Kosar is there. Hell yeah, cool. I know the league said that they're gonna be like pushing Orlando a bit more this past week. Again, as someone in the Orlando area, I have not seen a lot of that extra advertising. I guess so. I mean, maybe targeted more so downtown, which I don't think that's the correct way to go about it. But we'll see, depending on how they show up tomorrow. I did see that tickets to tomorrow night's game is $15 for seat and free beer. That's definitely gonna get some of the college kids in there, which is what they should be aiming for. All right, who's getting ball first in this? Teams are lining up for the kickoff. Pretty good weather. Again, Columbus is filling up that stadium nicely. Hopefully, get a good performance. As DC will get the ball first in this one, so we'll see that We'll see that offense from last week. That was pretty lackluster, trying to bounce back early in this. Oh yeah, it's a great deal, and I'm hoping people take advantage of it because Orlando can be a good atmosphere. I just don't have a lot of faith in it. Kickoff underway, gonna bounce into the end zone for a touchback. So DC will start things off from about the, I think, 25, 30-ish. Yeah, how they changed it. Yeah. Because, like, when the league is young like this and is I won't say desperate, but is really trying to attract fans, that's the best way to do it. Cheap tickets and give them a little something extra. Which, again, for Orlando, you have to target the college kids, and free beer is a good way to do it. Alright, so Jordan Teamu takes the field. It's ball on the 40. I don't know, okay. Ball on their own 40. Already, Fox broadcast off to a great start. They don't have a proper clock graphic. Teamu shotgun back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. First play of the game, going to be a toss right. Going to be a gain of about 3-ish there for Deion Jackson. All right. Oh yeah, yeah. But again, like, it's the college kids is what they need to push and target for Orlando. Hopefully they will. Teamu shotgun back to his left. Going to play action, look to throw. Dump off left side. Going to be caught with space to about midfield. Going to be enough for the first. That is, I believe, Mason Fairchild on the reception. Yep, it is. So they get a fresh set of downs. And now DC can no longer punt on this drive as they have crossed midfield. Ball on the Columbus 49. Teamu in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. Play action, looking to throw once again. Deep shot, right side, has a man there. Beautiful pass. Inside the 20 to the 19 for Cornell Powell. And the defenders are inside the red zone for the first time tonight on the opener. Cornell Powell was silent last week. They get him involved early in this. Nice slot fade, and that's all you got to do. We're going to rule him down actually closer to the 17. A high snap on 1st and 10. Going to give this out to Cornell Powell once again, but this time going to lose about 2. Noah Dawkins there on the tackle for loss. And now there is a penalty as well. 13-19 to play in the first quarter. Yeah, high snap, trying the RPO bubble screen. Oh, after the play, it's on sportsmanlike conduct against Columbus. Again, gonna be a fresh set of downs, calling it again. Just shooting themselves in the foot. It's against Cam Smith. Oh, I can't believe Chris Greer spent a 3rd-round draft pick on you. Oh. Missed an interception last week. Open drive on Taunton penalty this week. Oh, Teamu shotgun back to his left, looking to throw in 1st and goal. Pressure coming, trying to roll left, but sacked. Back at the 19. So his defensive line makes up for it. Is Kenny Wilkes on the sack. And so a 2nd and goal coming up from close to their own 20 as that left side of the DC offensive line. There's another weak point there being shown. Ron Stone also in the backfield. We had DC's offensive line last week. He gave up 7 sacks in the loss. Already not off to a great start. Second and goal. Tiamu and shotgun back to his right. 2 receivers to each side. To get the snap off in time as Tiamu looks to throw. Pass right side for Cornell Powell is incomplete. Tight one there. Cam Smith in good coverage, and there's another penalty. Are they going to say DPI? Are they going to say DPI? Hold on. Hold on. He gets there a bit early. Are they going to say that's DPI on Cam Smith? I did not see. They didn't announce anything yet. Or at least not known to the broadcast if you can't hear it like I can't. I think they are. Yeah. DPI against Columbus being called against Cam Smith, the former Dolphins corner. Tiamu and shotgun back to his right. Gonna hand this off to Deion Jackson left side. There's space inside the 5 and down to the 3. We might. That's a very rough 3-play sequence for him. And again, I don't like rooting for players to fail by any means, especially in the UFL. I want all these guys to get success. It's just funny as a Dolphins fan to see someone like Cam Smith, who was one of Chris Greer's last desperation as GM, still continue to struggle. Tiamu and shotgun gonna hand this off left side for Deion Jackson. He's gonna fight his way and stood up at the 1. Barely did not cross the plane there. It's close. It's just unfortunate because Cam Smith. Cam Smith had so much pressure on him in Miami, and you would think going to the UFL kind of alleviate that, but now it's just 2 penalties in 3 plays is not helping him. All right, 3rd and goal for DC. Tiamu and shotgun back to his right. 2 tight ends in the backfield. Tiamu to give to Deion Jackson, and he is in this time. DC strikes on the opening drive. Some help from Cam Smith, but they get the job done to take an early 6-point lead as we kick off week 2 in the UFL. 10:37 to go in the first. Columbus already shooting themselves in the foot some more. Unfortunate. All right, Matt McCrane on for the extra point to put DC up by 7. Kick is up, and it is good. All right. Yeah, a drive highlighted by that deep shot to Cornell Powell, as well as just bad penalties from Cam Smith. And we head to commercial break with that. It's just rough. Well, again, I get having the energy with it, but it's the opening drive, man. You cannot be having penalties like that. You just can't. And again, look, thinking back to his preseason time in Miami, he was always solid. It's just the injuries is what kept him off the field in Miami. So he has his chance in the UFL. He played okay last week. He had that one non-dropped interception, but he couldn't get his feet down. He couldn't get his feet down for an interception last week. And then you play okay last week. You play fine. You get the start again this week, and it's just bad penalties to have to begin things. Dairy Queen teamed up with the Savannah Bananas? Okay. I don't have Dairy Queen often, but cool. Cool. All right, at commercial break after the Defenders' opening drive. The rest of the sports world looking like. Not much in the NHL. Saw that the Bulls are getting killed by the Knicks tonight. And also, Luka Doncic is out for the rest of the regular season for the Lakers. That's kind of tough. Though I think that he'll be back pretty early into the playoffs. I don't think it'll impact them too much. All right, just coming back from commercial break as we await Columbus's first drive of the game. Yeah, I still don't fully get two teams in Texas just yet. We'll see how Houston shows up on Sunday, but I don't know about that. We'll see though. All right, so after an 8-play scoring drive for DC to get things going in week 2, we'll see what Jalen McLennan and his Columbus offense can do for their first drive. As Columbus is filling out that stadium. Good for them. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from bounce out the back of the end zone for a touchback. Will this be from the 40? Seems like it. Yeah, Columbus is doing a great job filling out that stadium, and I love it. The out comes McLennan. Had a pretty fine game last week. We will see how he plays in this one against a much better defense in DC's compared to Orlando's. Yeah. His historic crew is just a nice stadium to begin with. So the fact that it's packed out for the UFL, it does make it look nice on TV. All right, McLennan under center. Back and fullback behind him. 1st and 10 from their own 40. Play action looking to throw. First play of the game. Pass right side. Going to be incomplete. Looking for Toa Tawa, but there was tight coverage and he never seemingly saw the ball coming. It's not a bad decision. Like he has the step there, but he never really was able to distance himself from the linebacker. So like it would have taken a perfect throw. It just wasn't quite there. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left, 3 receiving options to the left as well. Handoff up the middle, gonna find some space for a gain of roughly 4 or 5. All right, Jaquandre White on the carry. So already an early 3rd down situation for Columbus. Ball on roughly their own 45. Probably going to say it's a 3rd and 5 situation. Either way, McLennan in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Yeah, it's a 3rd and 5 more so. McLennan looking to throw. Pressure coming, pass over the middle. It's caught for the first. It's Tay Martin. Great catch through the traffic. And fights his way for a gain of 6 and a Columbus first. To the pass midfield, not able to punt the rest of this drive. Another not great throw. I mean, everyone's covered there, so we can't really blame the decision too much. Ends up being a really damn good throw to make sure it gets in there. As McLennan, play action looking to throw once again. Pass left side, going to be a little bit far. Hey, Martin dives for it and comes down at roughly the 44 of DC. It was only a gain of roughly 5. But he had plenty of room to work with there as well. If the ball was just a little bit more on target. But yeah, nitpicky, but you do want those throws to be more so on target because that's where those chunk yards matter. 2nd and 5. McLennan in shotgun. Back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. Quick throw, right side, tight end screen. Has space and good blocking for a first. Gets up to roughly the 37. All right, not bad. There's Gunnar Oaks on the reception. And Columbus continues to move. 8:14 to play in the first quarter. And there's that DC defensive coordinator along the sideline there, Blake Williams. And coached a really damn good defense last year. Coach a solid defense in week 1. See if they can continue it. McClellan in shotgun, a back to each side. Going to quick throw right side. It's tipped at the line and incomplete. It's Sam Kidd getting in there to bat that ball away. Yeah, had a really good play against St. Louis last week as well, off that similar corner blitz look. This time, just couldn't quite hang on to it, but good pass breakup. Forces a 2nd and 10. McClellan in shotgun, back to his right. Tight end in the backfield to his left. Going to look to throw once again. Pressure coming quick. McClellan escapes right. Going to take it himself. Past the 30 and out of bounds to roughly the 28. Should be enough for a first. Columbus moving well on this opener. Moving well. And McClellan using his legs. I like seeing that. He did it a bit with Houston last year, though again, most of Houston's massive success was late in the season when McClellan was hurt. But hey, he gets a chance with Columbus. And he's playing well so far. McClellan alone in shotgun. 4 receivers out wide to the left. Ball in the DC 28. Man in motion left to right. McClellan, quick pass left side, caught for a receiver screen. Has some blockers. Space past the 20 and out of bounds to roughly the 18. Hey, they're moving. They are moving. It's Antoine Wells on the reception. 6:30, 6.5 to go in the first half. Keeping the drive going. A DC defender. Hey, that's not any DC defender. Hold on. Yeah, that Gabriel Taylor, the younger brother of Sean Taylor, was trying to make a play there, trying to jump that receiver screen. Bit a little bit too hard, but I do like the aggressiveness. McClellan in shotgun, looking to throw. Pass left side, off the mark and incomplete. Looking for Jalen Moore. Someone who was also quiet last week, but Jalen Moore can be a really solid receiving option for this team. Was for Michigan last year. Yeah, they're showing that red zone offense from last week for Columbus. 4 drives that stalled out inside the red zone. Only 1 they were able to punch in. Can they change ways this week early on? McClellan in shotgun, going to hand this off. Bouncing out right side is Jaquandre White. It's inside the 10 and fights to roughly the 8. A gain of 9 to make it a 3rd and 1. Nice. Yeah, just heads up football, bouncing out right side when the middle is completely clogged up. Using his speed to try and get the edge. Makes it the 3rd and 2, more so a 3rd and 1. McClellan making adjustments at the line. Under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Still making adjustments. Under 10 seconds on the play clock. McClellan gonna hand this off up the middle for White once again. Gonna be enough for the first as he fights his way to the 6-yard line. So 1st and goal, Columbus coming up. Just under 5 minutes to go in the first. Hey, offense looking well. The offense is playing well. It is the opening drive, but still, playing well. All you can really ask for. McClellan in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Going to look to throw once again. Pass left side is nowhere near anyone. I think he was thinking Gunnar Oaks was going to bounce it at outside. It looked more so like he was blocking there. Probably just miscommunication, definitely. Because Oaks probably was on an option route there, and McClellan thought outside was the option. Oaks decided kind of just to sit over the middle. Not over the middle, but sit where he was. McClellan alone in shotgun. 3 receiving options to the left, 2 to the right. Shifting someone into the backfield to his right. McClendon gonna take it himself up the middle, has some blockers, and gonna fight his way in. The Aviators are within 1. They score on their opening drive, and we might have a shootout on our hands. Jalen McClendon from 6 yards out puts up 6. All right. Not bad. Back-to-back really solid opening drives from the offenses. Nice. It might be a long season, but nice. I'm hoping Houston can look competitive in some games, but we'll see. At the very least, again, they have a fun bit you can ride along with, especially because a quarterback with the last name Deckers, or like deck of card things, could be a fun year. Again, as long as they're competitive. Extra point is up, and it is good. This game is tied. After one drive apiece, still find ourselves tied up. This time at 7. Yeah, I do expect the Pacific Northwest to get a team relatively soon. I know the league is looking to expand first time they're going to expand again is 2028. I would expect then is when you're going to get a team back in Michigan and a team back in Seattle. But who knows how this league's going to handle things. I think Portland would be the better option because it's a similar city like market wise to what you get with like Columbus and Louisville. So I think Portland would be the option, but Seattle already has such a strong fan base. They would be dumb not to at least entertain the idea of going back there. And already we do know that they want to go to Pacific Northwest next because alongside Columbus, Louisville, and Orlando, the 4th city that was supposed to get a team this year was Boise. Now, I don't think they're going to actually go to Boise if they expand, but that was supposed to happen. They decided against it after seeing Birmingham's pushback and Birmingham rally behind the Stallions. But yeah, the idea was for Boise to get a team this offseason. So they do want to go out west. As we're at commercial break, and very briefly during this commercial break, I do want to say we're very close to 600 subscribers. So if you are new, please subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. Live streams all throughout both the UFO season and when the NFL season rolls along in September. I'll be live for a bunch of games there as well. So stick around. We greatly appreciate it. But yeah, UFL expansion in 28 is going to be interesting. So yeah, because again, I feel like Michigan is a lock because the Michigan deserves to have their team back after how last season went. Of all of the teams, Michigan was the only team to see an increase in attendance from 2024 to 2025. So they fully deserve their team back, and they better get it back soon. Otherwise, you're going to completely miss out on that market. And then you have to go out west. There's too much opportunity out west. And why not just simply hop on the Oregon Trail and make your way back over to Oregon and Portland? Also, Cardell Jones in attendance for this game. He was a former DC Defenders quarterback. As kickoff is underway, going to be out past the 20, 25 to about the 26. Good to see Cardell Jones is still so appreciating the spring football. All right. 1st and 10 for DC. In a nicely packed out historic Crew Stadium. Tiamu in shotgun, back behind him, 3 receivers to the right, ball on their own 26. Tiamu gonna hand this off up the middle, gonna have some space for Deion Jackson. Makes one man miss and fights his way for a first. Still fighting up to about the 39, maybe 38 yard line of DC. So a fresh set of downs, one play all they needed to move the chains. All right, Tiamu and shotgun. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left. Going to hand this off up the middle once again, up past the 40 to about the 42-ish. I believe that's Deion Jackson once again on. No, it's Abram Smith on the carry. Second and 5 for DC as there's Ted Ginn along the sideline. I want to see Ted Ginn succeed, man. I want to see all former Dolphins succeed in this league, but Ted Ginn especially. Tiamu and shotgun back to his right. Going to hand this off left side for Abram Smith. And going to fight his way to about the 48-yard line. Going to be just shy of the first. It's 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1 coming up. Just under 2:15 to play in the first. And it's 3rd and 1 DC. Tiamu and shotgun back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. Last week, DC struggled on 3rd down. What do they have here? The first attempt of the game. Tiamu gonna hand this off left side for Abram Smith and has the blocking for the first and a whole lot more. Up past the 45 to 40 and out of bounds to the Columbus 38. All right, they're going ground heavy in this game, and I'm all for it. It's a good change from what it was last week, where they were pretty pass heavy for little to no reason. Especially when the offensive line was playing as poor as it was in the pass blocking scheme. Why not try run blocking? And they're going well with it so far. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Ball in the Columbus 38. Tiamu pump faking, gonna keep it himself left side and slide in down at about the 35. And there's a late penalty coming in. They might, I get what they're seeing here, but I don't know if I fully agree with it. Kyrie Woods would be the penalty here for a late hit against Jordan Tiamu. Refs are discussing. I'm listening to the refs discuss this. That's why the headset's on. They're gonna say a personal foul, unnecessary roughness against Columbus, against Kyrie Woods for the late hit. And I get it. I get it, but I don't fully agree with it. Like, yeah, in the NFL, that's probably a penalty. Doesn't mean it's a good penalty. The ball now on the Columbus 20-yard line. Tiamu and shotgun back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. Going to hand this off up the middle, and there is space to about the 16-ish yard line. Okay, I'm gonna butcher this name. Hold on, I have this sheet up for a reason. Yeah. Xavion Valade on the carry on that one. 2nd and 6. Tiamu and shotgun back to his right, looking to throw. Dump off to Valade along the right side, going to lose a yard or so on the swing route that goes nowhere. It is a good thing I decided to go with this roster sheet this year instead of the other one, since it has the pronunciations on it. All right, that'll be the end of the first quarter. 15 minutes in the books. Game's all tied up, but it's a red zone situation for DC. 15 minutes in the books. Game's all tied up at 7, but DC has the ball inside the red zone when we get back from a commercial break. Yeah. All right, add commercial break. All right, I'm going to quickly add this commercial break. Just going to quickly say we're close to 600 subscribers. We are close to 600 subscribers, so if you're new, subscribe, it'd be greatly appreciated. Going live for basically every single game of the UFL season this year. I think there's one I might be missing. And then in September for the NFL, I'll be live for a majority of the games there as well. Every Dolphin game, every primetime game, a few of the games here sprinkled in between. Gonna try to do 4 games a week like I normally do. So stick around, greatly appreciated. Subscribe. I mean, it doesn't matter. Executive orders don't have the power like that to change policies by a private company. It don't matter. It ain't gonna go anywhere. If anything, when it comes to the transfer portal, the only people that can really change the transfer portal is the NCAA. And the players not gonna want a lot of changes to be done with it. That's just how it's gonna be. Now, I'm sure at some point they're gonna realize, oh, we actually need to regulate this. But for the next while, it's a whatever thing. Yeah, it's a whatever. Nothing's actually changing with college football. Yep, at commercial break. Well, that's the case anyway. The only reason there were longer, like there was more than 5 years stuff, is because of the COVID year. You typically only get 5 years anyway. It's just with just the COVID year, kind of there's kind of threw a wrinkle into things because it allowed for those people to get an extra year, which is fine. Well, most of the 30-plus-year-olds you see in college football are Australians being kickers and punters. Aside from that, you do not see 30-plus-year-olds going up against 17-year-olds. Like, yeah, you might see someone like close to mid-20s, but again, you're probably not gonna be seeing a lot of that anymore because all of the COVID year guys are graduating and are done. Back from commercial break, Tiamu and shotgun back to his left, 3 receivers to the left as well. Looking to throw on 3rd and 7, pass over the middle is high and incomplete. Looking for Cornell Powell. Couldn't connect, the drive stalls out. Tony Fields in coverage, and out comes the field goal unit. Matt McCrane on to make this a 3-point game early in the second quarter. Yeah, but what? His situation was he? Is he technically a COVID year guy? I think yeah. I think it's red shirt COVID. I think it's red shirt and medical red shirts. Which even at his medical red shirt is weird because it's tonsillitis. Like, come on, man. 35-yard kick from the right hash. Kick is up and right down the middle for Matt McCrane. But also, it's like because of that, he's gonna lose out on money and he's gonna lose out on opportunities. Like because of how long it took for that to get figured out, he lost out on the opportunity to be on the cover of CFB 27. Like that was officially announced. He's also probably going to be losing out on some NFL money because I don't think he's going to have as good of a season this upcoming year as he did last year. But that's the gamble you pay. Again, I think a lot of the issue with college football is just the COVID year. The NIL stuff and the transfer portal, that's whatever to me. To be fair, I'm also not a college football purist in to an extent. I don't care about like it's at least like roster construction wise. I don't care about how it was. Now conferences I do, but like I have never been someone that's like been massively into college football to the point where I'm like I need certain players to be on certain schools for X amount of years. I'm like cool. They want to transfer. It would be funny come see. It would be funny come to Senior Bowl when they have a bunch of helmet decals. AJ Brown ain't going anywhere. It's a bunch of nothing. I think a lot of the discourse about the Eagles has just been a whole lot of nothing. I think a lot of it is just they underperformed last year, but that's it. I think they're gonna bounce back. They're gonna be better. The offense wasn't as great. Like if you look at the play calling numbers, not a whole lot actually changed. Situationally, it kind of did, but like it's for the most part, it's still the same Eagles team. They just didn't perform up to expectations, which were very high expectations. And I get that AJ Brown was upset last year. Of course he is. He again, you're coming off of a Super Bowl win and you perform like that. Yeah, he has the right to be upset. They still made the playoffs. They still won that division. I think the Eagles would be just fine. 100% the Eagles can be good again. And I think part of it is just simply getting a new offensive coordinator can help with that. Because while like on the surface, like play calling splits didn't change a lot. Again, situationally they did kind of slip here and there with play calling, but like I think Philly's gonna be just fine. Every team has a down year, and their down year is still winning the division. Kickoff underway, going to be returned up past the 20-25 and down to about the 30. So Columbus will start from there. Now, there is that. Now, it's definitely going to be a tougher year to win that division again for Philly, but they have the talent on that roster to do it. It's just they're gonna need to play better, and they're gonna be playing better. Oh yeah, the Columbus mascot got unveiled before this game. Name's Maverick. Yeah, actually, he's got a nice looking mascot. McLennan under center, back and fullback behind him. Gonna hand this off right side, and trying to find space, but gonna lose about 4 or so there. Not much room to work. There we go. For John Lovett, the halfback. 2nd and 14 coming up. I need to see the draft and how that handles before I could really make an opinion on the new GM. And even then, it's not going to be like an end-all be-all opinion. Because again, they blew it up, and I'm happy they blew it up. Pretty much every Dolphin fan was calling for him to blow it up after week 1 last year. It was bound to happen. It needed to happen. They need a new culture in that locker room, and this is the way to do it. Quick pass right side for Gunner. Oak's going to be only a gain of about 2 or so. So a 3rd and long coming up for Columbus. So like it's gonna take probably about 2-3 years for a culture to be built there that is better than what it has been. So I'm willing to give a grace year to both Affley and Eric Sullivan for this year, because this is the blow it up year, and you have to figure out from there if they can be competitive in games, even though, then I'll be happy. McLennan in shotgun, looking to throw in 3rd and 11. Going to take it himself left side. Has space for the first up to about the 42. Jalen McLennan, a 13-yard carry, moves the chains for Columbus. Maybe. Bo Nix had some issues with deep ball accuracy last year when looking for Troy Franklin, and that's someone he has good chemistry with already. I do think Waddle's gonna be, I wouldn't say the missing piece, but I do think Waddle's gonna be really good next year. The entire Denver offense though is a lot to live up to. McLennan under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Gonna hand this off up the middle. Trying to bounce it right side. Gonna get about 2 or 3 there with a penalty. John Lovett on the carry. We'll see what the penalty is. But like last year was really the year for Denver. And Bo Nix got hurt. And it sucked. Horse collar tackle against DC. Tack on 15. And a fresh set of downs for Columbus. Alright, being called against Derek Roberson. Yeah, he gets the nameplate. That counts. I'm also just glad that Miami got a good return for Waddle, considering a lot of things. So I'm excited to see what they can do next week. I'm excited to see what Miami can do with it. Draft towards the end of the month. I'll be live for technically all 3 days of the draft. McLennan gonna hand this off up the middle for John Lovett, and that's a gain of about half a yard or so. There will be a dedicated night 1 stream on Thursday for the NFL draft. I'll be live for night 2 alongside the UFL game that Friday. And then when I go live for the UFL on Saturday, I'll also keep up with the draft then. So technically a 3-day draft stuff, but more so just like 2.5. McLennan under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right, looking to throw in 2nd and 9. Pressure coming, rolling left, and taking himself up to about the 36, 37. Gonna make it a 3rd and medium coming up. Yeah, the NFL draft this year should be interesting. I'm excited to see what Pittsburgh looks like for the draft. Like that atmosphere in Pittsburgh should be great. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side. Ball on the DC 37, man in motion left to right. McLennan to throw. DC sends 5, pass over the middle is caught and brought down short of the line to gain. Tay Martin on the reception, gonna get up to about the 34-ish yard line. Garyon Conley on the tackle to force a 4th and short and a field goal try. So out comes the kicker. Ryan Coe on for the long field goal try to tie this game back up at 10. He hit all 3 of his kicks last week, but the longest was from 37. This one from 51 yards out. And the right hash. Kick is up, and he missed it wide left. Hooked it too far left. DC maintains the lead, and they'll get some pretty good starting field position for this next drive as we head to commercial break. Yeah. I think it's a pretty safe thing to say that the only team with a kicker in this league that can hit from 60 plus is DC. I don't think any other team has a kicker you will trust from 60 plus yards unless it is literally final play of the game situation. All right, at commercial break. At commercial break. One sec. We await DC's next drive. They scored on the first 2. Can they score on the 3rd? We'll see. Again, Columbus, they moved well on that drive. They get a little help from the horse collar tackle. But they still moved pretty well. All right, just coming back from commercial break. 9:44 to go on. 9:44 to go in this first half. A rough miss for Ryan Coe on the previous Columbus drive. Now their defense needs to make a stand. DC ball on their own 41. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left. Two receiving options to each side. Gonna hand this off left. No, gonna keep it himself up the middle. A fake end around. Tiamu has space past midfield. Past the 45 into the 41 of Columbus. He faked everyone on that. The defense, the cameraman, me, Jordan Tiamu, a nice scramble to put DC in great and even better field position. Already into field goal range. Tiamu and shotgun back behind him. Gonna hand this off for Deion Jackson right side. Sheds off one defender. Gets past the 40 to the 37. 9 minutes to play in the half. All right, Tiamu and shotgun back to his left. They give to Deion Jackson once again. Going to be a gain of roughly 4. So a 3rd and 1 coming up. What's up, T-Fox? How you doing? 8:35 to go in the half. Third and 1. Tiamu and shotgun. Clock running, under 10 seconds on the play clock. Tiamu and shotgun back behind him. They're loading up the offensive line here. Tiamu gonna hand this off up the middle, and he's stuffed. Maybe even a loss of a yard there, but no room to work for, I believe, Deion Jackson on the carry. Fred Tompkins, one of the defenders, into the backfield. So it's 4th and roughly 2. And DC has a choice to make here. So no, it's a 4th and 3. It said he lost 2 on the play. They're going to keep the offense on the field. They're in field goal range. They can extend this lead easily with Matt McCrane. But instead, they're going to test this Columbus defense. Tiamu under center, back behind him. You get the snap off in time. Play action looking to throw. Tiamu, pass right side, is caught for the first. Down to the 30. A nice bootleg for Jordan Tiamu. Finds the opening. And DC keeps the drive going. It's Cornell Powell on the grab once again. He's already been more involved in this game than he was at all last week. And it's a great sign. Tiamu and shotgun back behind him. 3 receivers to the left. They give up the middle. Gonna have space to about the 23. A nice gain of 7 there for Xavion Valade. Going to be a 2nd and 4. Ruled it a gain of 6. All right. Yeah, been a run-happy drive. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Man in motion right to left. Tiamu going to hand this off for Valade once again. Has space inside the 20 and down to the 18-ish. 18.5 yard line, just about. Either way, enough for the first. They keep the chains moving. Keep the chains moving. Tiamu and shotgun back to his right. Gonna hand this off left side. Once again for Valade. Has some space. Fighting his way down to about the 10. Another solid carry for this DC offense. They're just running it right down the throats of Columbus, and it's working. This time a gain of 8. 2nd and 2 coming up. Yeah, they already have more rushing yards in this game than they did all of last week. The ground game is just effective for them. The offensive line is a run first offensive line. The passing game is not going to be passing game is probably going to be weak most of this season. But the run game, it's solid. 5:13 to go in the first half. We head to a commercial break as there is a stoppage there, which I'm going to assume is a timeout being called. Let me double check that. Here we go. Yes, Columbus calls their first timeout. There we go. Again, like they call timeouts early as a team, especially when they're a team that could probably use those later in halves. Dairy Queen sells wings. Those are probably not that good. There's not a lot of wing places I trust, honestly, though. So who knows? Yep, at commercial break for the Columbus timeout. And while we're at this commercial break, real quick, I want to say we're slowly approaching 600 subscribers. So subscribe if you're new, greatly appreciated. We go live with basically every single UFL game. Again, there might be one I'm missing, but I'm not too sure about that yet. Depends on timing and stuff for other stuff. And then when the NFL season rolls around in September, go live for a bunch of games over there as well. I'll try to do 4 games a week for the NFL. So it's every single primetime game, every single Dolphin game, and one more in between. So actually 5 games a week. No, 4 games a week in the NFL is the goal. Though with how many extra games there are that they're adding, from Wednesday kickoff games to other stuff, it might as well be 5 games a week over there. We have a ton of more streams go out throughout the rest of the year. So stick around, be greatly appreciated. We're just coming back from commercial break. It is 2nd and 2 for DC. Ball on roughly the Columbus 10-yard line. Oh wait, no, it was in the Columbus timeout. Why was there? Okay. Fox has no. Okay. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left. Gonna hand this off right side for Valaday. Has space inside the 5, and he is in. Xavier Valaday extends this lead for DC as they go up by 9. He's having one hell of a game already. I don't think he got a single rush attempt last week against St. Louis, and now he's here against Columbus, and he's doing wonders for this DC offense, as they already have more points in this game than they did all of last week. So yeah, they definitely rallied behind the poor performance that was the St. Louis game. So Matt McCrane on for the extra point to bring this to a 10-point DC lead. Kick is up, and it is good. There is a penalty, going to be offsides against Columbus, it seems. So they might go for a different conversion attempt. No, they're going to decline it. And it was Cam Smith who went offsides. Extra point is good. All right. And right back to a commercial break with 5:11 to play in the half. At commercial break. Yeah, Columbus is a good opportunity on this next drive. They get ball to begin the second half, so they're still very much in this. Down 2 possessions, they're feeling good. But the offense needs another drive, mainly because the fans need something to rally behind. The defense has not done a lot in this game. 3 straight scoring drives for the defenders to begin this one. So the offense gonna need to start matching some things again. Which is kind of crazy to say considering that they've had 2 drives and they would have matched DC on both of them if it wasn't a 51-yard field goal. But yeah. At commercial break. Commercial break. We await Columbus's next drive. And we'll see what they get. All right, just getting back from commercial break. A big drive coming up for Columbus. And again, like they moved the ball well, both on their opening drive, in which they found the end zone, and on their second drive, which they got into field goal range. It was just a long field goal attempt, and they have a kicker that can't be that reliable from distance. We'll see. DC set to send this one away. Again, going against this defender's defense, you're gonna need to be more consistent. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 5. Space out past the 10, past the 15, 20. Finding space to break in the tackle and trying to find more space. Did he go backwards too much there? We're going to mark him down at. He got past the 20, and I think he went backwards to inside the 20. I think they're going to mark him at the 18. So not a great return. This game is on Fox. It is on the main Fox. As this Columbus offense takes the field. And McLennan having a fine game. Probably want a bit more out of him, but it's still technically early and there's only the 3rd drive for the offense coming up. McLennan in shotgun, gonna hand this off up the middle. And there's space for Toa. Enough for the first, a gain of roughly 13. Hey, get Toa involved in this game. He is too good of a back to have less than 5 carries through a half a play. That's only I think that's his first carry of this half. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right, looking to throw once again. Pressure coming, and McLennan is sacked. Back near the 25. No, not really any time for him there. Just up the middle rush from this defense. Devon Shaw Maxwell gets in there for the sack. It's the 2nd of the game for this DC defense. And a 2nd and long coming up for Columbus. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Going to keep it himself up the middle on what's a broken down play that goes nowhere. Stuffed at the line. Just ugly looking play. He was looking outside for a quick hitter. Just nothing. All right. I liked Encanto. I liked it. To be fair, I also don't watch a lot of Disney movies to compare it with. Since that released during COVID, it was just something for me to watch instead of paying attention to class. McClellan and shotgun back to his right, and he get the snap off in time as he looks to throw. Dump off over the middle is caught. Gets a good block from Tawa, trying to find space, and where's the spot? Gonna mark him a yard shy is Jalen Moore on the catch and run, and it's 4th and 1 for Columbus. Nearly gets the first, but Tawa, a great block to give Moore the outside. And they're going to keep the offense on the field. It's 4th and 1. Two and a half to go in this first half. They need to run one more play. And now there is a stoppage with 2:26. I guess they thought that. Oh no, DC calls a timeout. Okay. So the defenders call their first. And there's a big fourth and 1 coming up. It's gonna be an interesting choice for Columbus. They're not quite in like comfortable range yet to be giving DC the ball back. So we'll see what they decide to do here. Fourth and 1. Yeah, DC already has 110 rushing yards in this game. Yeah, they completely changed their offensive style from week to week. An offense on the field, McClellan under center, back behind him. 4th and 1. McClellan, play action, looking to throw. Dump off right side is just off the mark for a wide open Tawa. Threw it behind him, and it's a turnover on downs. It's there. There's a ton of space. But the pressure on the bootleg forced a bad pass. And DC can begin the process of running away with this game. It's there. Like, it's so there. Just misses him. Derek Parrish and Sam Kidd are going to combine for, not an official stat, but going to combine for the errant pass. And it's 1st and 10 DC, 2:23 to play in the half. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side. Ball on the Columbus 41-yard line. Man in motion right to left. Play action looking to throw. Tiamu, pass left side, wide open. The 20, the 15, and out of bounds at the 13. Deion Jackson on the halfback wheel. And DC's already knocking on the door. 2:09 to play in the half. We have a stoppage here. Yeah, just fell for the fake. And Deion Jackson gets behind the linebackers. Fred Tompkins in coverage there. Just loses him. Man, Columbus should be such a better team. It was a bit helmet. There's some helmet contact there. There's some helmet contact. Seems to be all good. You have to know that they're gonna start they're gonna start running the clock now. 2-minute warning from Columbus. 2 minutes to go in the first half. It's 1st and 10 for DC from the Columbus 13-yard line, trying to take advantage of the turnover on downs that they just forced. They've scored on 3 straight drives. Can they make it a 4th? A commercial break first, and then we'll find out. Yeah, this game can get ugly. Which sucks because you can see from Columbus's offense that they have the pieces, but they just shoot themselves in the foot. But it's there. It is so there. Yep, at commercial break. And quickly, since we're at the commercial break for the 2-minute warning, I want to say we're very close to getting 600 subscribers. So if you're new, subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. Go live with pretty much every single UFL game. Again, probably only gonna be missing one this season of the 43 possible. So stick around, really appreciate it. In September and the fall, when the NFL rolls around, go live with 4 games a week roughly. Is it 4? No. 5 games a week. Yeah, it is 5 games a week. 5 games a week roughly. So stick around, we really appreciate it. Every single primetime game, every single Dolphin game, as well as some other games sprinkled in between, depending on scheduling. So stick around, it'd be greatly appreciated as we wait for the final 2 minutes of the first half from Columbus. Because it's at least 4, most likely 5 games a week. But again, with how the NFL scheduling is going to be next year, who knows? And we have Wednesday game. We have a Wednesday game to begin the season, followed by a Thursday game in Australia. We're talking about Thanksgiving Eve games, which is weird. As well as more possibilities for Saturday. Yeah, there's a ton of weird scheduling stuff in the NFL. And an 18-game season seemingly coming up, in which players are only allowed to play a maximum of 17 games, unless you're a kicker. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Just coming back from commercial break. Wait, what time does that Tuesday game say? That does not seem right. I mean, I'll be fine, but like, what? No, okay, that's just a... Okay, they just messed up the graphic on Fox. Fantastic. Tiamoon shotgun can hand this off up the middle, and there's space inside the 5, and Deion Jackson piling it on for DC. They extend the lead once again, as this game is going to start getting ugly. Now a 16-point lead for the defenders. Again, they played really poor against St. Louis last week. They've completely changed their identity week over week. And now they're looking, and now they're back to scoring like that team that won the championship a year ago. Matt McCrane on for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. 17-point DC lead. Which, again, in the UFL is only 2 possessions. It's a 2-possession lead for DC. But still, it's a weird one. Again, Columbus gets ball to begin the second half, so they're still good. They can still double up. They can still easily be in this game, come back in this game. But the offense is going to need another drive here as we head to commercial break. As we head to commercial break. Man. Again, I was hoping this game would be closer, and there's still a chance for it to be close, but I don't know, Columbus, there's just something off with Columbus right now. But also, again, their defense has not stopped anything. 4 straight scoring drives to begin the game for DC after they went 3 quarters against St. Louis without scoring. I mean, the defense needs to be a bit better. It's as simple as that. Well, hopefully Columbus will turn things around here soon, because I do want to see this game competitive, and I want to see this Columbus atmosphere be electric. It's not going to help when you're getting blown out in your home opener. Still at commercial break after the DC touchdown. Just under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Here we go. Coming back from commercial break. Again, it's a night and day difference for DC from last week to this week. And it's great to see. I mean, the defending champs. You want to see them have resilience. But man, Columbus, if they feel right there. Yeah, they've topped all of their stats from last week in one half of play. Night and day difference. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 5. Space up past the 10, 15, past the 20, and a hard hit at the 22. He gets upended. What a hit. Curtis. No. That's Eric Ezukanma? What? That is a wide receiver laying lumber like a linebacker. What? Talk about the former Dolphins players that were great in the preseason but couldn't stay healthy for the regular season. Easy Eric Ezukanma is one of those. And what a hit on special teams. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. Quick pass left side, going to be caught up to about the 30. Man, 29, they're going to say. What a hit. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left as they go hurry up. Looking to throw, pass left side, going to be low and incomplete. Off target, probably gets hit at the line there. Hey, good on Ezukanma. What a hit. 3rd and 3 coming up. Yeah, Derek Roberson saying he tipped that. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left, tight end in the backfield to his right. 3rd and 3 from their own 29. McLennan looking to throw. Pressure coming, pass over the middle is low and incomplete. He was hit while throwing that one. It's a 4th and 3 as Columbus goes 3 and out. Alright, that's not the drive to have there. But I mean, again, DC gets that momentum off a great hit from Eric Ezukanma on special teams. Jeez, and yep, Columbus is gonna. Yeah, they're gonna punt this one away. All right. So not the drive they were looking for at the end of the half. Gonna be putting pressure on this defense. Punt comes off clean. And going to be muffed! Punt's muffed! Oh, it's muffed, but who has it? Columbus saying they have it. That bounces a bit. Columbus has it off the muff. Off the muff punt, Columbus maintains possession. Well in field goal range. They get a lucky bounce of their own right now, finally. Story Jackson recovers the muff. It's Kiki QT back to return the punt. He couldn't hang on. Columbus finally catches a break on their own. They finally get a break. After giving so many teams breaks so far. Now can they capitalize? McLennan in shotgun back to his left. Looking to throw in 1st and 10. Dump off left side. And it's caught by a lineman. Nearly picked off. Going for the halfback screen. It's nearly picked off. A lineman has to intercept it from the defense to come down with it. and maintain possession. But that is a terrible way to start this. There is a penalty down. What's the penalty here? Yeah. Yeah. Durrell Johnson goes up with that, bobbles it, and allows the lineman to then catch it. It shouldn't be illegal contact. Or not illegal. It shouldn't be illegal touching, as that ball was bobbled by the defense. They're saying 2 fouls, both on the defense. I think one's a face mask they were talking about. I love being able to listen into these ref huddles. The refs are discussing this. I have the headset on so I can listen into this. Yeah, they're saying one's a face, 2 penalties, both on DC, one's face mask. They're still discussing this. They're trying to. All right, there's the personal foul. And after the play, personal foul. So it would be Curtis Jacobs gets a post play penalty here. They just showed that on the replay. Both penalties they're saying are seemingly against Curtis Jacobs. Columbus is getting loud. This is taking a while to make sure they get this right, and I like it. Being able to hear this is also helping with this. Refs are discussing. Yeah, they're still under review. All right, both penalties have been confirmed. So one of them is after the play, personal foul against DC number 23, Curtis Jacobs. The other one I think is also against DC. The other's a face mask against. The other's a face mask against DC. Also against so two penalties against Curtis Jacobs. One's a face mask. One is personal foul. That one's declined. The face mask declined. Personal foul after the play is accepted on Curtis Jacobs. They're gonna push this 15 yards forward. 1st and 10 Columbus from the 25. Yeah, there's the face mask that started this scuffle. There's pushing and shoving, and he's gonna push him afterwards. Yeah, so both and 10 from the DC 25. They have a breath of new life here as well. McClendon looking to throw. Pressure comes quick. Pass right side's caught. Has space. Past the 20, the 15, and out of bounds around the 9. Jaquandre White on the reception. A penalty in the backfield as McClendon gets rocked as he was releasing that ball. This might be roughing the passer against DC. In which case, he'll just tack it on. It's going to be 1st and goal for Columbus one way or another. So refs are discussing. Back to the headset. Yeah, Andre Roberson. He yeah, that's a clear roughing the passer. So roughing the passer against DC. Half the distance to the goal. 1st and goal for Columbus. As he left his feet to put his full body weight on Jalen McClendon. That's textbook roughing the passer. And now DC is gonna have to call a timeout as there was too many men on the field for DC. Things are getting ugly. Things are getting ugly for DC to end the half here. You have You have a face mask and a personal foul against the same player on one play, followed up immediately by a roughing the passer, followed up by too many men on the field and having to burn a timeout. That is a really ugly 2.5 play stretch. And it's given Columbus a chance to cut into this deficit right before the half. That's just ugly. And something you would not expect from a defending champion. All right, 1st and goal, Columbus. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right. Going to hand this off up the middle. Jaquandre White now bouncing out left side. For the edge, the hurdle, and in. Jaquandre White cuts into this deficit with a great, just a great a great heads-up run to take advantage of the Yeah, okay, we're going to fully dive through this. It's now an 11-point DC lead. The sequence that just happened, I don't think it could have been more disastrous for DC. Just all around ugly and a disaster. 55-ish seconds remain in the half. The extra point to bring this back to a 10-point DC lead. Kick is up, and it is good. So, we have a muffed punt from Kiki QT to keep the Columbus drive alive. The immediate next play, Curtis Jacobs gets both a face mask and roughing the passer penalty called against him. The immediate following play, you have a roughing the passer against DC called on Andre Roberson. Then in between plays, you have too many men on the field and have to burn your second timeout. After the timeout, you give up a 6-yard rushing touchdown to get your deficit cut into. I don't think there's a more disastrous 4-play stretch for a defense you could find. That is ugly. That is rough. Special teams and defense. Just ugly. Right. So you on top of all this, the initial Columbus drive begins with a very nice hit from Erguez Ukanma, which halts a pretty okay return. You then force a 3 and out, and then the sequence happens with the muffed punt, the penalties, too many men, all of that. It went from a fantastic defensive series to one of nightmares in the span of like a minute of game time. Just ugly. As we're at commercial break, 55 seconds remain in the half. I think the only way that sequence would be uglier if that was to lose the lead. If that was to either lose the lead or end of game to lose the game, that would have been an even worse sequence. Like, at least it happened when you're up 17 and right before the first half, to where there's not a whole lot is really probably going to change because of that. But still, that is bad. Columbus gets ball to begin the second half as well. So now they have just a bunch of momentum on their side. The drive started with Jaquandre White getting leveled by Erguez Ukanma, and it ends with him taking it in from 6 yards out. Oh, I loved it, UFL. We're back from commercial break. Back from commercial break. Columbus set to send this one away in a nicely packed out historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. Kickoff is going to be not reaching the landing zone. So DC will start from the 40. Not a Not a great kickoff. Okay. We're getting some slop in this game. All right. So starting from their own 40. And out comes this DC offense. Been on fire in this game. Tiamu alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Man in motion on that right side into the backfield to Tiamu's left. High snap, it's bobbled. Tiamu to throw. It's intercepted! It's picked off. Fred Tompkins returns it to the 42. Disaster. Disaster clap. Has there been a worse series of plays on all 3 phases of the game? Has there ever been? Like, what is happening? Sorry, not Fred Tompkins. It's Michael Lawson with the interception over the middle. DC, what is happening? Columbus has all the momentum. All the momentum. That's disaster. Disaster. 48 seconds remain. Lawson is hobbled after getting lipped on the return after trying to hurdle someone. Columbus ball on the DC 41. As I threw my pencil after that. We're going to hold off till halftime to run back that sequence of plays. But, man. Just man. Talk about shooting yourselves in the foot. McClellan in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Ball on the DC 41. McClellan going to hand this off up the middle for John Lovett. Gets inside the 40 to about the 39, and Columbus will call their first timeout. Just, what was that sequence? If Columbus scores here and brings it to a proper 1 score, brings it to a 1 score game before the half. Oh man, oh man. 42 seconds to play in the half. Just disaster. Disaster after disaster after disaster. McClellan in shotgun, back to his right. 2 receivers to each side. 2nd and 7 from the DC 38. McClellan looking to throw. Pass deep, right side. And that's intercepted. And out of bounds at the 10. It's Sam Kidd. And he just saves DC there to end the half. Just saves them. Sam Kidd with the interception. McClellan going for it all when it's not needed. And he just saves DC. It's still a disaster sequence to end the half, but at least it's now not as bad as you still have a 2 possession lead. But man, that's. I get. Is he okay? Here's the question: who is he looking for there? There's 2 receivers in the area. There's that's not good separation on the routes. Antoine Wells is on a corner route in the area. Kiki Chisholm's on a go ball in the area. There's too much clutter. And DC is going to get this one to halftime. They're done with the first half. They're going to kneel this one out. So 1 half of play in the books. It's a 10-point game, but it is definitely anyone's game after that disaster sequence of events. Columbus gets ball to begin the second half. So yeah, let's run that back. So after the 2-minute warning, DC has a 6-ish yard touchdown run by Xavion Valladay. On the following kickoff, Eric Ezukanma lays a beautiful hit on Zaquandre White to set the momentum. DC proceeds to force a 3-and-out. On the punt, Kiki QT, the return man for DC, muffs it, and it's picked up by Columbus. Already not great. The very next play for Columbus, a halfback screen nearly gets picked off. Instead, it's caught by one of the offensive linemen. And there's 2 penalties against DC, both being against Curtis Jacobs. One a face mask, one a personal foul after the play. The very next play, Andre Roberson gets a roughing the passer penalty that's very much so roughing the passer on a play that already gains about 12-13 yards. Then, in between plays, DC has 12 men on the field and is forced to burn a timeout. After the timeout, they give up a 6-yard touchdown one to Zaquandre White. They get the ball back. During the kickoff, Columbus misses the landing zone, so DC starts from their own 40. First offensive play, you have Jordan Ta'amu. You have a high snap that Ta'amu bobbles and throws an interception afterwards. You're sticking. We're not quite done yet. You have a John Lovett carry that goes about nowhere, and then you have Jillian McClennan throwing an interception at the end of the half. An insane final 2 minutes that does not feel real, but we're at halftime nonetheless. And this game's only at a 10-point lead, 10 point difference. Just okay, sure, why not? We're at halftime. They're doing the halftime show. I don't care too much about this. So I'll quickly be right back. All right. I am back. You're still in the middle of the halftime show, so we're good. I am back. This is one of two home openers this week. The other one is Sunday evening-ish between Birmingham and Houston. We'll see Houston's home opener. They have a pretty cool halftime show in Ludacris. That should be something. Yeah, Columbus gets ball to begin the second half. At halftime, Columbus really wasted an opportunity to end the half there. Even if they just got a field goal, like that alone would have been massive. Instead, they gave DC some momentum back. But yeah, at the half. Again, I gotta say that mascot's cool as a. At the half. At the half. Yeah, just doing the halftime show. Again, every team's home opener has a halftime show. So we gotta go through that real quick. I have not had an Arnold Palmer. I haven't had the opportunity to. I do know my dad drinks them from time to time. Yeah. Well, WrestleMania is coming up soon. I don't know though. I'm going back and forth on things for me for WrestleMania. I'm currently between recreating the Tennessee whiskey that they sell at Epcot and trying a Sunny D vodka seltzer. I saw a truck of that the other day, and I used to love Sunny D as a kid. I'm very tempted in trying that, but we'll see. Nice. Yeah, like aside from that, I pretty much just like I have water or the occasional Coke. Typically, it's only like, but WrestleMania is one of those events every year where like D Fox, me and my friends make a whole thing about it, me and Toastin and all of them. So I'm probably gonna do something for that. Aside from that, though, like, at halftime. Oh yeah, day one of WrestleMania is part of the reason why I might be missing one game because they moved. I think they moved up the time of that start. So I think it interferes with a UFL game. We'll see though. I'll be keeping up with all of that by the time that rolls around, so I'll have a better idea of it. Yep, at the half. But yeah, the NCAA is looking into expanding March Madness to 76 teams for sure. Oh, and now the Milwaukee Bucks are getting investigated for injury report stuff. Oh. Yep, halftime show seemingly just wrapping up. We're heading into a commercial break before the start of the second half. And since we're heading to this commercial break, I'll quickly say, double check. Make sure I'm still on base here. Yep, we are slowly approaching 600 subscribers. So if you're new, subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. Go live with basically every single UFL game during the season. Again, I might only be missing one this year. So of the 43, guaranteed going live with 42 of them. So subscribe would be greatly appreciated. During the NFL season, I plan to go live with 5 games a week for the NFL. So again, depending on scheduling, some things might change here and there. But for the most part, it's 5 games a week. Every single primetime game, every single primetime game, every single Dolphin game, a few games sprinkled here and there in between, depending on what the scheduling looks like. So stick around, be greatly appreciated. Stick around, greatly appreciated. Second half action is gonna be on the way here soon. The Columbus Aviators get ball to begin the second half, and we'll see what this offense can do. It's a bit hit or miss so far this game, but again, like they have the pieces of multiple drives to really be in this game. We'll just see if they can finish one. Begin the half and get the momentum back that throwing an interception takes away. We will see. Add commercial break for halftime. Add halftime. Add halftime. Columbus gets ball to begin the second half. All right, just coming out of commercial break. Again, a weird end of the first half. Let's see how the second half tops it. Again, for those that missed, the first half ended in the final 2 minutes, all with a touchdown for DC, followed by a great hit on the kick return. 3 and out for Columbus. Muffed punt for DC that Columbus recovers. 2 penalties on 1 player on the very next drive after a halfback screen was nearly intercepted, but caught by the offensive lineman instead. A roughing the passer against DC, that was a very clear roughing the passer, on top of a 12-yard gain. DC having 12 men on the field, but then calling timeout to be able to avoid it. After the timeout, giving up a 6-yard touchdown run. Then DC's offense throws an interception on the very next play, the very first play of the drive. And then 2 plays later, Columbus throws an interception. So, wild end to the first half. I don't expect the start of the second half to be anywhere near that level, but who really knows with this league? And hopefully it does have some energy alongside of it. Yep, second half going to begin here soon. second half underway here soon. Columbus gets ball to begin the second half. This DC defense, which has been playing pretty well all game, made a big play to end the first half. Really got the momentum back for DC. Can they build off of it? They're up by 10. Can they keep it going from there? All right, second half underway here soon. At the end of the half. Right halftime. Second half underway here soon. Yeah, the running back highlights from the first half. And man, was it a wild first half. Especially those final 2 minutes. And the second half top. It's a 10-point game. Well, Columbus is in this. They haven't been playing the greatest, but they're in this. They have nearly a minute more of time of possession. Okay, good on them. We're having one more commercial. Yeah, one more commercial break. And then we're at the start of the second half. Because, of course. Man, I love Fox. At commercial break. Hello. Welcome on in. Second half can be on the way here soon. Again, Columbus gets ball to begin the second half. Oh, it was a Florida prepaid AI commercial. Sure. Sure. Yeah, it's just, yeah, whatever. You only do so much. Alright, add commercial break as we await the start of the second half. Again, the thing with Fox's broadcasting of this league, so many commercials when it's not all that much needed. I don't like ESPN for a lot of the other stuff they do, but at least for ESPN, they don't have just loads and loads and loads and loads of commercials. They know how to spread them out to where it feels natural. Yep, at commercial break. Yeah, that's just not a good. Okay. All right, just coming back from commercial break. Start of the third quarter in the second half here soon. All right, what does Columbus have offensively? Doing in Jalen McClellan having an an okay day. 10 for 18, 68 yards compared to Jordan Ta'amu, 6 for 8, 70 yards. But they both threw an interception at the tail end of the first half. So how are they going to bounce back? What you got, Ted Ginn? What you got? You're the offensive mind here. I will also say, though, Columbus last week did have a little bit better of a second half performance than they did first half. So maybe they're just a second half team. And they're about to come out here, make this back to a one-score game. Defense going to stand up again and make a solid play. And kind of just go from there. I will also say, though, the one mistake DC made offensively in the first half, which was the interception, was less Columbus making a really good play and more so just a bad center quarterback exchange, which caused timing to be off for Jordan Ta'amu. But you will take the positives when you can get them. But now you're really going to need to be able to do that. Now is the time to truly maximize the positives. McClellan warming up on the sideline. He will get the ball again in the second half. I do wonder how long until you think about going for someone else to try and jumpstart this offense. You have Jalen Morton on the bench who played really well for Birmingham in years past. That's an option. We'll just see how long it'll take for him to go to that option, if at all. Teams are lining up. Matt McCrane on to send this one away. As the second half from historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio is underway, going to be returned beginning from the 10. Spaced out past the 15, past the 20, past the 25, past the 30, and brought down around the 34 after a second effort. So out comes Jalen McClellan and this Columbus offense. It's time to get a drive going here. It's time to get a drive going. McClellan in shotgun, back to his right. Two receivers to each side. First play of the second half. McClellan looking to throw. Pressure coming, gonna roll left and take it himself. Has some space to about the 39, maybe the 40. Not much else to go, so a gain of 5-ish to begin the half. Ruling the gain of 6. Not bad. Not bad. You'll take it. Again, just building off of stuff. McClellan in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. 2nd and 4 from their own 40-yard line. Gonna hand this off up the middle. Bounces off a defender and has room. Past midfield. Past the 40, 35, and down to the 30. John Lovett on the carry. And boy, do I love that carry. Beautiful. Bouncing off defenders and a massive pickup that Columbus has needed up in this game. They've needed a play like that. NFL draft is April 24th. I believe it's the Thursday. It's the third Thursday of April. It's the 23rd, 24th, and 25th are the 3 draft days. McClellan in shotgun. Back to his left, 3 receiving options to the left as well. Ball on the DC 31-yard line. Another handoff up the middle. Not as much room. Gets a gain of 2. Yeah, with the NFL draft, I'll be live for a standalone NFL draft stream on day 1. Day 2, I will be live for it alongside the UFL game on that day. And then day 3, I'll be live for the UFL game and any draft stuff that happens during it. I won't be live for the entirety of day 3. All right, 2nd and 8. McClellan in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Man in motion, left to right. Going to look to throw once again. Pressure coming, gonna step up and take it himself. McClellan slides down. slides down into 22. So 3rd and short, there is a penalty now. As it is Holden against Columbus, so push them back. Replay 2nd down. Let me actually see the full schedule to make sure I am good with the draft stuff. Oh, there's a wait. No, that's not right. Yeah, no. Yeah. Actually, there might not be a day 3 interlope there between the draft and the UFL. Okay. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right, looking to throw in 2nd and 18. Pass left side's caught inside the 30 and down to about the 27-ish. It's Antoine Wells on the grab. Yeah, because week 5 of the UFL is when the NFL draft is, and they have a game on Saturday, day 3, but it's at 7 p.m. I don't think that's going to coincide with the draft at all. It might with like the final hour of it, which in that case, not a lot's going to be happening there anyway. Unlike last year where they started at roughly the same time. McLennan in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. 3rd and 6. McLennan looking to throw. Pressure comes quick. Trying to step up. Breaks off one. Was that fumble? The ball's loose! And DC has it! I don't think anyone tagged him down. And now the ball comes loose again and Columbus has it. Wait, so what? I need to... I'm assuming they're saying DC ball here. I'm not sure if he was ever tagged down. The ruling on the field. Fumble by Columbus. Picked up by DC. Fumbled by DC. Picked up by Columbus. Yeah, okay, what? I didn't even realize the ball came loose there. Yeah. He gets pushed by Lovett. I don't think he's ever touched when he's down. So, we're gonna... Yeah, is he down when he recovers his fumble? For Rod Gardner, forces the fumble. I don't think he's ever touched. I don't think he's ever touched. Antoine Wells then forces it loose and Tay Martin would recover. Did he get touched? Because it's definitely a fumble if he didn't get touched. This is going to be interesting. Show the camera angle of when he picks up the fumble. We don't care about this extra part. Here we go. He may touch. I don't think he's touched. Because he's. I'm not sure who's ever touched. Did we get a Leon Lett? Mike, they're still reviewing this. Mike Piero is talking to the refs. Because one, Mike Piero wants to make sure, was the play ever whistled dead before the second fumble? Refs are saying they didn't. And that they'll let it play through. So then on the field, it's a fumble by Columbus, picked up by DC. Fumble by DC, picked up by Columbus. It stands as called. It's Columbus ball. DC. What? Sure. This has been the weirdest middle 8 minutes of a game. I think throughout the entirety of the UFL. There's been weirder stretches, but specifically the middle 8. It's just like, what is happening? So Columbus gets saved again. DC continues to shoot themselves in the foot, yet they still lead by 10. It's a fresh set of downs, ball on their own 35 now. McLennan in shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Going to look to throw. McLennan dump off right side, halfback screen for John Lovett. It loses about 7. Okay, maybe I think there's a ball don't lie moment there. Brandon Smith gets a tackle for loss. It's a loss of 6. I think we can count that as ball don't lie. Even though, I don't think he was down. But, man, this... Okay, now my question is, can they punt? Because we had a change of possession, so can they punt here if they need to? Or are they forced to just go for it? McLennan in shotgun back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Play clock winding down. They're not going to get that snap off in time. Did they call a timeout? No, delay of game on Columbus. They go backwards even more. What is happening? What is this sequence? What am I watching? What am I watching? Oh, this is beautiful. I cannot wait for a Tuesday night game in this league, man. It's gonna be something. 2nd and 21 now. Ball on their own 25. This is a McLennan in shotgun back to his left. Looking to throw once again. McLennan pass over the middle is caught for a gain of a yard. So their ball on roughly their own 26. This drive, technically, started at their own 34. They have gone backwards like 8 yards on this drive. Somehow. After getting well past midfield, they have now gotten backwards 8. What is this? So it's 3rd and 20. Can they punt is the question now. McLennan in shotgun back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Looking to throw in 3rd and 20. Pressure coming, trying to roll left. The ball comes loose again. Columbus falls on it at their own 12. His own lineman forces the... What is this game? And this is going to answer my question. Yes, they can punt because there was change of possession. His own lineman forces the fumble there. Dog, what? He tries rolling left to buy some time and just collides with his own lineman. It's Ryan Nelson who forces it loose. Somehow, DC has not recovered a single fumble tonight, technically. They have the one they did before, but they then lost it again. Punt comes off clean, going to be returned beginning from the 45 up to midfield. We will finally see this DC offense for the first time this half, and there's 8:35 to play in the half. DC has shot themselves in the foot this game, but somehow Columbus is still saying, we're going to one-up you. You're shooting yourselves in the foot, we're going to shoot ourselves in the knee. Like, just... What is this game? Just what is this? All right, add commercial break. Add commercial break. Just what? What was that sequel? What has, since the 2-minute warning of the first half, this game has just gone completely off the deep end. And I'm here for it. it's it's one of those games now where I'm just like, how much more chaos can we get? Like, if Columbus comes back, how chaotic is it gonna be? Because DC has given them every opportunity to have the lead at this moment. Every opportunity. From the interception before the half, from the fumble in the fumble. Like, Columbus has had every opportunity in the past, however many minutes would it be? The past, like, 8-9 minutes of game time to have the lead right now. And they're still down by 10. And so it's just coming back from commercial break. 8:35 to go in the third quarter. This DC offense seeing the field for the first time this half. Hey, there's Mike Rapoli along the sideline there. But again, Columbus has a nice crowd. I want to see them have more success because they you need the success to maintain the crowd. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side. 8:35 to go in the quarter. Tiamu gonna hand this off up the middle, and that is a gain of 2. All right. Gain of 2. Second and 8. Play clock winding down. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left. Gonna hand this off up the middle. Has space in a breakaway. The 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Dion Jackson. Touchdown defenders. They continue to add on to this lead. They've given Columbus chances in this game. Columbus decided not to take them. So DC is now saying, fine. We'll run away with this quite literally. 48 yards out. Dion Jackson extends this DC lead. Beautiful blocking up front. Great job from Jackson to hit that hole. And once he hits it, no one is near him. He's gone. All right. So again, Columbus had their chance. They wasted it. And now here comes DC once again. The extra point is up, and it's right down the middle. Took 2 plays. Took 2 plays for them to extend this lead. Now sitting back at 17, and we'll see how Columbus responds. But first, a commercial break. All right, at commercial break. Just what a game. What a game. Again, this is a much different DC team from last week, and it shows. This is the type of performance I was expecting from DC last week. It took them a week to get all their ducks in a row, but now they have them in a row, and now they're doing just fine. Now the question is just, can this defense keep it? Can not necessarily the defense, can as a whole, can they keep this up? This is a really good performance, but they're going to need to do it again. Yep, add commercial break. All right, just coming back from commercial break. Deion Jackson, his third touchdown of the night, ties the record for single game rushing touchdowns. He's having over 100 yards on him by himself already today. Jeez. Kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning, going to be let bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Not sure what the decision making was there. Columbus will start from their own 20. Weird choice to make there. See if it pays off. Yeah, it's a rough home opener for Columbus. I hope they'll be able to bounce back. When's their next home game? Because man, this is a rough first home game. They're back at home in 2 weeks in week 4. Okay. McClellan in shotgun, looking to throw in 1st and 10. Pass right side, caught by Antoine Wells. And the ball comes loose. It's picked up by DC. What a hit to force the ball loose there. Wells spinning to find some room. And in comes Joe Wallace with a nasty shoulder hit. And DC's defense DC's defense is just very simply getting back after the performance that they had at the tail end of last week's game against St. Louis. And it just so happens Columbus is the team in their way. Actually, that's helmet to elbow. That cannot feel good for Wells. But yep, Joe Wallace forces the fumble. And it's Macklin Ayers who recovers. That's the 6th turnover of this game across both teams. And now DC has the ball right back well into Columbus territory. And this game is getting ugly. But not in the fun ways. Tiamu shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. Ball at the Columbus 28-yard line. Tiamu gonna keep it himself left side on a read option. And slide down for a gain of 1. Man, this is one of those games. Just simply put. Second and 9 coming up. Tiamu shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Man in motion right to left. Going to hand this off left side for Eric Ezukanma. And he's going to slip his way to about the 22. 3rd and 4 coming up for DC. 3rd and 5. All right. Not bad. Tiamu shotgun back to his left. 6.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. 2 receiving options to each side. Ball in the 21. Tiamu, play action looking to throw. Dump off left side. A tight end screen. Has the blockers. The 10, the 5. Brilly Moore walks it in. And this game is continuing to get ugly. DC is piling it on now. They keep on piling it on. They scored 2 quick touchdowns to begin the second half. And again, the opportunity that Columbus had from inside 2 minutes of the first half and the opening drive of the second half, that opportunity to have the lead in this game, they couldn't capitalize. And now here we are. It's the interception to end the half instead of a field goal. It's the whatever the fuck was the opening drive of this second half that ended in a punt and then losing like damn near 20 yards on the opening on 20 yards on the opening drive. Just a mess for Columbus, and it's not going to get any prettier anytime soon, it seems. Like, they had that window. Down by 10, ball with under a minute to go in the first half, in field goal range. All they had to do was just get points there, and then scoring to begin the second half. And you were in such a better spot. They couldn't do either. Now they're down by the extra point was good. And now they're down by, 24? So still a 3-possession game, but it's an ugly 3-possession game. Still just over 6 minutes to play in the third, so there's still time, technically. Man, they're going to need to catch a break. But we will see. We will see. At commercial break. Since we're at commercial break, real quick, want to say we're slowly approaching 600 subscribers. So if you're new, subscribe. We really appreciate it. Going live with basically every single UFL game this season. 42 of the 43 most likely is going to be the case. So subscribe. Really be appreciated. In September for the NFL season, going to be live with roughly 5 games a week, depending on the scheduling. Every single primetime game, every single Dolphin game. I'm going to try and throw in as many other games on Sunday as I can from there. Yep, subscribe. Be greatly appreciated. And getting close to 600. So stick around. Really appreciated. Still at commercial break as we await for Columbus's next drive. In a very ugly game this has been. Again, tomorrow night, we have Louisville versus Orlando. 2 new teams to the league. Take 2 new teams in the league going at it. Orlando got the win last week against this Columbus team. Louisville looking to get their first win, technically, in team history. After a tough loss to Birmingham last week. 6:17 to play in the third quarter. And that game I expect to be a lot better than this one. Matt McCrane on to send this one down. And kickoff is underway. Going to bounce before the landing zone. So Columbus will start from their own 40. And we'll see, for how ugly this game has been for Columbus, the fans are still showing. The fans are sticking through. I gotta give them credit. The fans are sticking through. Now we'll see. Okay, hopefully they get a win next week. So that way they can have a reason for fan turnout in week 4 when the next home game is. Though Columbus does play Dallas next week, which that should be something. McLennan under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Going to hand this off up the middle, and there's space. It's Toa Tawa. Going to get past midfield to about the DC 48. Get him involved in this offense. He is a really good running back that should not only have 2, maybe 3 carries at this point. McLennan under center, back behind him, 3 receiving options. So we decide to give to Tawa once again. And once again, another solid carry, a gain of 8 up to the DC 40. Get Tawa the ball. It's not that complicated. He is a really good running back. Get the ball in his hands. All right, gonna give this to Tawa once again, this time along the right side. Another first down pickup for Toa Tawa. Has space to about the DC 30. In 3 carries for Toa Tawa, he has picked up about 20 yards. That was his 4th carry of the game. How does he only have 1 rush attempt in the entire first half? That's not winning football. McClellan in shotgun back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side, looking to throw. Has time, pass left side, going to be tipped and incomplete. Didn't quite get enough air under that one to fit in a beautiful pass. Instead, it is Aziz. Oh, the roster's page time. Make sure I get the name. Azizi Hearn with the pass breakup as McClellan was looking along that left side. Pass intended for Rock Taylor, who's open in that window along the sideline. McClellan just didn't quite get enough air under it to place it in that window. McClellan in shotgun back to his left, looking to throw once again on 2nd and 10. Pressure coming, pass over the middle, hit while throwing, going to be incomplete. Looking for Toa Tawa. Okay, so they had 3 really good rushes from Toa Tawa, followed up by 2 incompletions. Why do I feel like I'm watching the Dolphin? Oh yeah, Ted Ginn was a Dolphin. That's why. That's why. Yeah, this is just the Dolphins. This team is just the Dolphins. McClellan in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. 3rd and 10, looking to throw once again. McClellan pass left side, caught with space. It's Tay Martin inside the 20 to the 17. 3:45 to go in the quarter. First and 10 Columbus. They're still moving on this. Three and a half to go now. Clock ticking. Gonna need a touchdown on this. Pretty much need a touchdown on every drive here on out. McClellan in shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Looking to throw once again. Pressure coming. Dump off over the middle. Caught by Tawa. Inside the 15 to the 13. Gain of roughly 5. All right, 2nd and 5. McClellan in shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Ball in the DC 13. They give to Tawa up the middle. Gonna fight his way to roughly the 10. So a 3rd and 2 coming up. Third and 2. 2:20 to go in the quarter. Breaking the huddle with 15 seconds on the play clock. McClellan in shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. You're in 4-down territory, down by 24. McClellan, the throw. Pressure comes quick. Pass over the middle is off the mark and incomplete. Looking for the tight end, Gunnar Oaks. He wasn't prepared for the quick hitter, and it's 4th and 2. Clock continues to run. I mean, this has got to have it. DC dialed up a nice blitz to force a quick throw. Oaks wasn't prepared. He wasn't prepared to go hot there. But this has got to have it. 4th and 2, down by 24 to keep your hopes alive. As at this point, with how your defense has been playing, you're going to need to score. McClellan alone in shotgun. 3 receiving options to the right, 2 to the left. And timeout called by Columbus? Alright, the play clock was winding down too much. Shooting yourselves in the foot a bit. Columbus calls their first timeout. I mean, I get it. You don't want to make this a 4th and 7. But man, having to call a timeout there sucks. All right, 4th and 2. Again, you're pretty much in gotta have it. Fourth and 2, a minute 31 to go in the third. Ideally, you score before the quarter ends. And then you probably gonna have to go for 2 after this if you do find the end zone. McClellan under center, back and fullback behind him, play action looking to throw. Pressure coming, pass right side's caught, breaks off a tackle, and they're gonna give him the first. Just barely. It's Kiki Chisholm. Barely getting to the 8-yard line. Barely. That was tight. Yeah, caught it well behind the line to gain, but able to fight for the 8. Somehow. So 1st and goal. They're going to review the spot, but I think he got it. Let's see if Mike Pierre has anything to say. What you got for me, Piera? Yeah, you're making sure they got the spot right. They're reviewing it. Yeah, he crosses. Yeah, he gets to that 8-yard line. Great effort from Kiki Chisholm. Yeah, 1st and goal Columbus. They confirm he got the first. A minute 5 to go in the third. Again, you're basically in 4-down territory at this point. Basically in 4-down territory. You got to find the end zone. Got to get 8 yards to keep the game alive. And then you better hope your defense can make another stand, because aside from the interception, DC has scored on every single drive. McClellan in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Back in motion out wide to the right. McClellan looking to throw. Gonna take it himself up the middle. Finding space inside the 5 and fighting forward to the 3. One more play is needed before the end of the third quarter. So it's 2nd and goal from the 3. They went right back to that QB draw in which they scored on their opening drive with. They went right back to it. It worked the first time. It also worked here the second time, but not to the same extent. 2nd and goal, 2.5-yard line. McClellan under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Play clock winding down to get the snap off in time. Play action to throw. McClellan, end zone. Touchdown Columbus. What a catch in the back of the end zone. Through some nice contact. It's Al-Aziz Mack. And they cut into this deficit a bit. All right. They cut into this deficit. Now an 18-point DC lead. It is up to 2 possessions. And Columbus will go for 2. I liked it. I like the idea. You have your big-bodied tight end lined up out wide, going against a safety or a corner, and just throw it up to him over the middle. All you have to do, and it worked. Yeah, they had a corner on him. Ekwo Bodo? Sure. That could be a fun name to say if he makes a big play. 2-point conversion attempt. McClellan in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Looking to throw. McClellan with some time. Pass, end zone. And it's incomplete. Looking for Rock Taylor. And he gets rocked at the catch point. So it remains an 18-point DC lead. That will also bring us to the end of the third quarter. 15 minutes remain. 2-possession game from Columbus. As we await DC's next drive, and this Columbus defense going to need to get some action here soon. They've made one proper stand. But they're going to need to actually be able to step up here soon. But first, a commercial break. All right, there's some fight left in Columbus. There is some fight. We'll see exactly how much fight is here, how much fight there is soon. But there is fight. Now again, that was just the defense. They did get an interception at the end of the first half. But again, aside from that, it's not been a lot. But we shall see. But yep, at commercial break for the end of the third. We'll see how much more fight Columbus has. I think they got a bit more left. But again, exactly how much, time will tell. So again, since we're in between quarters, I'm going to quickly say we're slowly approaching 600 subscribers. So if you're new, subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. Go live with basically every single UFL game during the course of the season. And when the NFL rolls around in the spring, I go live with about 5 games a week, every single Dolphin game, as I am a Miami Dolphins fan. Every single primetime game and a few other games sprinkled in there in between, depending on the scheduling. So stick around, be greatly appreciated. Grab. As we approach the fourth quarter, the final 15 minutes in this one. Columbus got that much needed touchdown. Is it too little too late? But we will see. We will see. Still at commercial break. Should be coming out of it here soon. Yep, there we go. Fourth quarter underway as we await fourth quarter underway as once Columbus sends this one down. All right, yeah. That was the DC dominated middle quarters of this game. But hey, Columbus is still in it. Only a 2-possession game. Kickoff underway. The fourth quarter begins with a return that begins from the 5. Face up past the 15, the 20, 25. Breaking some tackles past the 30 and stood up around the 31. All right, so what you got, DC? More so, what you got, Columbus? This defense in desperate need of a stand. DC has been able to have their way with his defense the entire game, especially on the ground. That they have not passed the ball a lot in this game. Yeah, the pre-snap motions playing a role in this one as well. Again, DC, they know DC has them better chemistry. Yamu and shotgun back to his right. Going to hand this off up the middle. And there's space for a gain of 7 or 8. To about the 38-ish yard line. Rolling at a gain of 8. It's 2nd and 2 coming up. Second and 2. Yamu and shotgun back to his right. Three receiving options to the right as well. There's a 2nd and a long 2. Yamu gonna hand this off up the middle for Abram Smith, and that'll be enough for the first. Just barely. Keeping the chains moving as they continue to kill clock. And Columbus, only 2 timeouts. So in a late game scenario, they're going to be in a deficit. All right, 1st and 10. Tiamu and shotgun back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. Going to hand this off up the middle, and that is a gain of roughly 2. All right, not bad. Second and 8 coming up. Tiamu and shotgun. Back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side. Play action looking to throw. Tiamu with some time. Trying to step up. Pass right side is incomplete. There is a penalty down though. And there's a dolphin on dolphin action going on there. Eric Ezukanma, the intended target. Cam Smith Cam Smith the defender there. It is defensive holding against Columbus. 5 yards, automatic first down. Yeah, I like it though. Some dolphin on dolphin action there. Cam Smith and Eric Ezukanma. 2 former Dolphins that definitely know how each other likes to play from the times on Miami's practice squad, times during the preseason and training camp. So that's a fun matchup. I kind of wish we could see more of it in this game, but that's also like the second target Ezukanma has had today. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side. Ball on their own 49-yard line, man in motion right to left. Tiamu gonna hand this off up the middle, gets past midfield and a gain of about 2 or 3. Alright, not much going there. It is Abram Smith on the carry. 2nd and 7 coming up, they pass midfield, they can't punt. Second and 7. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right, looking to throw. Has some time, pressure now coming. Tiamu gonna launch one right side, and it's somehow caught for the first. Cornell Powell on the grab. Tiamu was dead to rights in the backfield, and somehow they get the first out of it. There's been moments of it being kind of chaotic and funny, but for the most part, it's just been DC clearly being the better team. Like Columbus has had its moments, but yeah, for the most part, it's been fine. I've definitely have sat through worse games. Tiamu and shotgun gonna hand this off right side. And there's space past the 30, 25, past the 20, cuts inside the 15, inside the 10, and finally, Eric Ezukanma brought down at the 8. 1st and goal, DC coming up. And unless a miracle happens here, DC is able to make this a 3-possession lead, and that'll probably be all she writes for Columbus. But hey, Eric Ezukanma having himself a solid game. I love to see it from a former Dolphin. Had a great tackle on special teams. 2 great end-arounds now at this point. I gotta give him credit where credit's due. He's having a solid game. Tiamu and shotgun going to hand this off right side. And gonna try and find some space, but brought down behind the line for a loss of 1. Is Xavier Valade on the carry. So 2nd and goal coming up. She's the 226 rushing yards on the game for DC. That's the story right there. If you're looking for an explanation on how this is an 18-point DC lead, just circle those rushing yards, and that will fully explain it. Because aside from that, this DC offense has not done. I mean, they're passing the ball fine. Tiamu and shotgun back to his left, looking to throw. Has time, pass right side for the end zone, and it's caught. Eric Ezukanma, he got a foot in there. They're ruling it incomplete. That's going to be overturned. He got a foot down, and you only need one in the UFL. Come on, I need a former Dolphin to make a play here. It's more Dolphin on Dolphin crime. Eric, as you, oh no, that right foot's out. Oh, that would have, oh man, that would have been bragging rights for days for him. Oh, Damu shotgun. He fumbles. He fumbles the exchange on the jet sweep, and I think he falls on it though. This might be the break Columbus needs. No, Tiamu has it. Okay, 3rd and goal coming up. Trying to jet sweep with Ty Scott, and he just completely loses the ball. I don't know what happened there. Somehow he falls on it though. Oh, I was so hoping. I was so hoping for the Dolphin, for the Dolphin versus Dolphin action there. Man, if Ezu Kanma came down with that, I would have had a field day. I actually know it's 4th and goal now, so out comes Matt McCrane for the 25-yard field goal try to make this back to a 3-score lead. Kick is up, and it is good. They lead by 21. So still time for Columbus technically, but with 8:12 to play, they're gonna need a miracle. At commercial break. Man, that would have been great. That would have been great. All right, add commercial break. Add commercial break. Just over 8 minutes to go in this game. Columbus gonna need a massive drive here. At commercial break. Columbus gonna need a drive here. We shall see. Just coming out of commercial break, they're showing DC hoisting the championship trophy from last year. Well, just a bunch of highlights from DC's run last year. It was a great year for DC. Had a slow week 1, bouncing back beautifully in week 2. Can they continue it though? Can they continue it and can they close it out? 8:12 to play in the game. Kickoff going to be returned beginning from the 7, space out past the 20, and tripped up to about the 25. So Columbus will start from there. All right. Again, you've been in this situation most of this game where you're in a gotta have it situation. Simple as that. Gotta have it. Need to score quick. And now that we're in the 4th quarter, I mean, there is a world DC does not get the ball back for the rest of this game and Columbus just wins because of that. McLennan in shotgun back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. Ball on their own 25. McLennan, handoff up the middle. And there's some space for Zaquandre White. Gain of 10. Not bad. Good way to start a drive. I just gotta build off of it. Cause yeah, this stadium is starting to empty out. I feel bad for Columbus, man. Again, the energy was really there. They really showed out as a fan base. It was a rough game. Quick pass left side going to be caught for a receiver screen, and there's space past the 45 and out of bounds to about the 47. It's Antoine Wells on the reception. 2 plays, 2 first downs. Columbus is moving. And just can they keep it up is the question. But they are moving. Again, if you're Columbus, you do not want your defense back on the field the rest of the game also. So you're going to be going for 4th and 12s. McClellan in shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right, looking to throw once again. Pressure coming, pass left side, tipped and incomplete. Lucky that ball was tipped. It might have been picked off. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looking for Alziz Mack. Gotta relook up his pronunciation after this game. Actually, is it on this roster sheet? It is. Alize Mack. There we go. McClellan in shotgun, looking to throw in 2nd and 10. Pass right side, going to be caught by Antoine Wells. Goes past midfield to about the DC 47. 3rd and 4. 6:35 to play in the game. Getting closer and closer. Again, week 2 continues tomorrow night as the Louisville Kings take on the Orlando Storm. Kings looking for their first win. Orlando looking to go 2-0. As McClellan looks to throw, pass deep left side, going to be incomplete. Nearly an incredible catch along that sideline by Kiki Chisholm. Says 4th and 4. Yeah, 2 brand new teams going at it tomorrow night in Orlando. I expect that game to be a lot better than this one, but we shall see. Continues on to Sunday when Birmingham takes on Houston. That's going to be an ugly game. And then week 2 wraps up Tuesday night when St. Louis takes on Dallas. McClellan in shotgun, 4th and 4. Gotta have it. McClellan to throw. Pressure coming, stepping up. Gonna take it himself with space. Gonna slide down to about the 35. First down pickup for Jalen McClellan, who's been using his legs pretty well in this game. The issue has come in through the air. 20 for 33, 122 yards. That is not a great game. Not great efficiency through the air. McClellan in shotgun back to his right as they go hurry up. 3 receiving options to the right. McClellan to throw once again. Dump off left side, caught by Zaquandre White. Makes one man miss, finds space inside the 30 to about the 29. 5 minutes to play. And yeah, we're getting to the point where a 4th and 12 try is going to be coming up here soon. Because 1, you can't give the ball back to DC's offense. 2, there's not enough time to do so anyway, with only having 2 timeouts. All right, McClellan in shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. Play clock winding down to get the snap off in time. McClellan stepping up. Pass over the middle, caught by a wide open Tay Martin. Inside the 10, the 5, and down to the 3. Tay Martin makes it 1st and goal Columbus. With 4:15 to play, they're probably going to go hurry up here. Trying to maximize all the time they can. McClellan under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. As DC is going to call a timeout here, as they've been struggling with substitutions. They've been struggling with getting substitutions going. So they call their first. All right, add commercial break after the timeout. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if Columbus can continue the fight. For 4:02, 4 minutes to play in this game. We'll see how much fight they truly have. All right, add commercial break. Still at commercial break. All right, just getting back from commercial break. Columbus, 1st and goal. From the 3-yard line. Ideally, you punch it in one play just to be able to keep as much time as possible. There's 4 minutes left in the game. But you got to be able to punch it in here quick. McLennan alone in shotgun. 3 receiving options to the left, 2 to the right. You're 3 yards out. McLennan to throw. Pass left side is incomplete. Looking for Tay Martin once again. Good coverage along that left side. And it's 2nd and goal coming up. Clock continuing to run. I would imagine they go hurry up here. Yeah, along that left side, it's Echo Boydo. Echo Boydo in coverage. That's going to be a fun name to learn throughout the season. McLennan in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. 2nd and goal from the 3. Play clock winding down to get the snap off in time. McLennan to throw. Pressure coming. Rolling right. Still looking. Pass. End zone. Touchdown Columbus. It's Tay Martin, but there's a penalty. What is the penalty? This could be game changing. It's offsides against DC. That is declined. Columbus finds the end zone once again. A solid offensive night being tarnished by a really bad defensive night. And this is the first time a home team has scored 20 to me to realize. Not properly in there. Hold on, let me fix it. There we go. That should be fine for now. 3-point try from the 8. McLennan to throw. Breaks off some sacks and the ball comes loose. Gets kicked forward, picked up by DC. And returned to the 9. You're down by 21, man. Just go for 2 if anything. The conversion try fails. And a 4th and 12 will be coming up here. But now, instead of being down by potentially 14 or anything, down by 15. Which is still 2 possessions, but going for 3 there, not the choice I would have made. As we're back to commercial break. Yeah, there we go. Back to commercial break. I'm going to keep the possession indicator on Columbus for the time being because I do expect a 4th and 12 try here, being down by 2 scores. We'll see. All right. At commercial break. At commercial break. Columbus's offense has been playing fine in this game. A 26-point night is a good night. It's the defense that has not shown up. DC has scored on all but one drive. Technically two, but one of them is the end of the half. They have scored on all but one full drive. Like, that's just not going to cut it. Just straight up not. All right, so here comes the 4th and 12. Trying to keep this game alive and maintain possession. So again, no onside kicks in the UFL. Instead, it is a 4th and 12 play from your own 28. To maintain possession, get 12 plus yards. Simple as that. With 3:22 to play and down by 15, this is the last chance for Columbus. McClellan in shotgun, back to his left, 3 receiving options to the right. Ball on their own 28, 4th and 12. McClellan to throw. Pressure coming and sacked. Oh, and he got tabletopped. Oh, that did not look good. He is sacked, though. Darrell Johnson, one of 2 defenders into the backfield. And yeah, McClellan is hobbled coming up from that. He took 2 shots there. Jeez. It's Darrell Johnson and it's Derek Parrish combining in the backfield there for the sack. And yeah, McClellan, that does not look good. But DC makes the stand on 4th and 12. They're going to have good starting field position as well. And yeah, McClellan, he's hobbled after that. I don't blame him. He got sandwiched there. 3:17 to play. Ball on the Columbus 18. Handoff up the middle for DC. Going to be a gain of a yard or so. And they'll let this clock roll. Trying to kill as much as they can before having to give it back to Columbus. Yeah, just a rough night. Rough night for Columbus. Yamu shotgun back to his right. Going to hand this off up the middle once again. And that's going to lose about 2. Lose about 2 there. This could get us to the 2-minute warning if they choose. More so if Columbus chooses. They only have 2 timeouts remaining, so they're going to let this clock run as well. But yep, 2-minute warning coming up. I know, 2:15 to play. Now Columbus calls a timeout. All right, Columbus calls their second. Okay, they're gonna try and keep some hope alive. Yeah, this DC defense tonight, man, they played fantastic. Even with giving up 26, they played really well. DC offense was unstoppable. It was a really good game for DC. Like, this is how you bounce back after the showing they had last week. Yamu in shotgun, handoff up the middle, gonna get past the 15 and down to about the 13 for Xavier Valade. There is a penalty down as well. 2:10 to play in the game. What is the penalty? It is holding against DC. Gonna push them back. 3rd and long coming up. All right. Extending the game a bit. Third and 20 coming up. Third and 20. Second and 10. Waiting for them to snap this ball. Yeah, now they're saying it's fourth. The Columbus declined the penalty now. Yeah, Columbus now has declined the penalty. Is a fourth and 6 coming up. So 4th and 6. Now the clock will continue to run, and now we get the 2-minute warning. Mess of a game. All right, 2 minutes. 2 minutes to play from Columbus. Even with this field goal that's about to happen, Columbus will still be down by 2 possessions at 18 points because you can go for 3. So it's technically not all over just yet, but down by 18, you're going to need something shy of a miracle. But first, a commercial break. And while we're at this commercial break, we're slowly approaching 600 subscribers. So subscribe if you're new, be greatly appreciated. Go live with basically every single UFL game over the course of the season. And when the NFL season rolls along in the fall, I'll be live with about 5 games a week during the season, depending on scheduling. Every single primetime game, every single Dolphin game. And then I'm going to throw in a few other games here and there, depending on the scheduling for those weeks. So stick around, be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you are new. Add commercial break as this game is slowly winding down. This is the thing with a blowout. In the moment, like in the middle of the 3rd or early in the 4th, like you can still get entertaining moments. But now we're at this point, where it's kind of just like, okay, we have to just wait for the clock to go out and still handle like the typical stuff with it. But yeah, add commercial break. Add commercial break. Yeah, we shall see. All right, just coming back from commercial break. Matt McCrane on for the field goal try, 32 yards out from the left hash to make this an 18-point DC lead. Kick is up, and it is right down the middle, ever so nearly blocked. That would have been. So talk about momentum shift. That got blocked. Oh man, if that got blocked. All right, so DC will send this one away. You know, I thought before the Super Bowl, I checked for every possible score in terms of like by tens for this, but I guess I didn't. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. All right, a minute 56. Hey, Mike Piera. All right. So DC will send this one away. We'll see if Columbus has a miracle on their hands, down by 18. But I doubt it. All right, kickoff return beginning from the 6, space out past the 20, past the 25, past the 30, and down to about the 35. Now, even a kick return would have just completely shifted the aspect of this game, but nope. All right. Columbus has one last chance. Still a good amount of time. But again, down by 18. The most they could realistically do is tie this game up. But again, they will need to score quick, get the 3-point conversion, get the 4th and 12, score again, and get the 3-point conversion. All with Jalen Morton under center due to McClellan's injury on the previous 4th and 12. Morton in shotgun. Looking to throw, and there's a penalty that calls the play dead instantly. Great start to the drive. Probably going to be against Columbus, I would assume. We're off to a great start on this. Yep, false start against the Aviators. So now it's a 1st and 15. And they have to go even further in a minute 47. Again, they basically need to go the length of the field twice in a minute 47. Like, the defense is not going to be involved in the rest of this game for Columbus. Morton in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. 1st and 15 from their own 30. Morton going to take it himself. He loses 2 or 3. You called a QB draw in a late game. Okay, sure. They're going to let this clock. Okay, I mean, that has to be like... That has to be, because I know that there's, for the NFL, there's a fan account called the Surrender Index. That has to be high on there, right? As now Morton gonna look to throw on 2nd and 18. Launching one deep left side is well underthrown, and that's intercepted. And gonna slide down near the Aviator 48, and that will do it. It's Gabriel Taylor, the game-sealing interception. Oh, I love to see that. Oh, I love to see it. Gabriel Taylor with the game-sealing pick. If I remember correctly, I believe it's the younger brother of Sean Taylor. It is Gabriel Taylor. He gets the game-sealing interception, wearing number 21 for a DC-based team. As now all DC has to do is kneel this one out. Yeah, his younger brother. Good on him, man. That has to feel good. There's the first kneel down. That has to feel great for him, man. I love it. That has to feel great. Where in that number for a DC-based professional football team and getting the game-stealing pick to get their first win on the season. That has to be great. That has to feel great. There's the final kneel down. DC, talk about a bounce back. Does a great job after the poor performance last week, bouncing back this week and reminding people why they're the defending champs. Columbus's next 4 games are against Dallas and Houston. They go to Dallas next week before being back here in Columbus against Dallas in week 4. Then they go to Houston before being back here against Houston in week 6. The weird scheduling, I know, but that's how things are going to rock. So tough game for Columbus. They have a chance to bounce back next week against Dallas. The first of 2 matchups against them in a 2-week span. But UFL week 2 continues tomorrow night. as the Louisville Kings take on the Orlando Storm. I will most likely be live with that game. I will be live with that game. I don't believe I have anything that will go past 8 o'clock. If something does come up, I'll let y'all know. I should be live with that though. Appreciate everyone tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow night, most likely. Have yourselves a damn good one. Peace.